I ain't going down, down with you. If you're going downtown, get you someone new.
John Burrell is here from That's My Entertainment, doing another review. This time on Detroit, with Finn. Oh no, I'm sorry. His name is John Boyega. He's always gonna be Finn to me. That's all there is to it. It's a movie based off of a scenario that happened in Detroit during the riots they had back in the '60s. It was an incident at the Algiers Hotel where 3 young black men ended up dead. It was assumed that there were shots being fired at the National Guard that was in the city at the time because the riots had gotten that bad, where the government sent the National Guard into Detroit to help kind of stifle that activity. And a very racist cop with a lot of vitriol for the people of Detroit, or at least the black population, ended up being the head of a little thing to look into those shots fired. From there was terror and a few deaths. It's kind of a heavy movie to watch. If you have thin skin when it comes to racial relations, it's something you probably shouldn't go see. But I think it's important for people to watch films of this nature because it reminds us that things like this have happened and will continue to happen as long as we allow them. Of course, the method changes, but still it still is the same end result. So, Detroit, kind of crazy. It involves I don't know if you know the singing group, the Dramatics. It involves them in a certain way because one of their singers from the original iteration of the group was involved in that Algiers Hotel group, and they were one of the guys up against the wall being held by the police. It changed his entire life to where he never rejoined the group, but it's it's kind of true. It's a true story, so it shows you how this really affects people, the things that happen like this. The acting in it, I enjoyed. I kind of wish that a majority of the movie didn't involve the black characters just screaming, "Please don't do, no, stop, please stop, ow, ow, ow," But in that situation, there was not much they could say in order for them to stay alive, so I understand why that was the way it was. And Will Poulter, as the main racist cop I described earlier, was fantastic. I think technically that's probably the best I've ever seen him in a movie. His facial expressions, just the way he kind of handled it, the tone of his voice, it was phenomenal in portraying that type of anger, kind of hatred, and willingness to do whatever to get what he wanted, which never was going to happen because it was completely untrue what he was looking for. He was never going to find it, but the way he handled that role really, really kind of hit me. I was in the theater and I noticed that the movie itself had the type of effect it was supposed to, not just as you leave the theater or later on when you're thinking about it, but like as the movie was going, because a person behind me stood up and yelled the words, "Those motherfuckers." Okay? Because he had became angry at the actions of what he had saw on screen. So the movie did its job thoroughly. And I like movies that will upset a crowd when it's upsetting material, because that means that the director got across what they needed to do. And it wasn't like walk out of the theater anger. It was I can't believe people did that to other people anger. And that's what we need because it sparks conversation in how we can change things. So, Detroit, fantastic movie. I'd say go see it in theaters, definitely. Probably not for the children. You can give them the PG version of it if you like, but definitely adults you should go see. All right, John Burrell, that's my entertainment. What's yours?